Hello everybody, quite a while since I last did a video. That would have been the salute one, I believe. So I've been a bit ill recently with a bad sore back, so I've not been up in the loft for a little while, but more or less totally recovered now. And in the meantime, since that last salute video, I have obviously been doing a lot of painting. So what I was going to take you through was stuff that I completed in that time. So starting off, I thought I'd put out my entire Revolutionary War British Army that I've done so far. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 battalions there of Grenadiers, and I've now started using the Airfix Washington's Army to produce some proper redcoat guys. What I've been doing on eBay is trying to snap up as many of these sets as possible. I've got more than enough of the Grenadiers done. I might do another. I've certainly got enough for probably another 4 battalions of those if I desire to do so. But as you can see from what I've done here, I've done firing, poses, loading and marching forward slowly, poses, and of course 2 marching units. So if I was going to do any more, it would be another one of these marching units, because I think they look really nice, and probably another one of the guys firing. So yeah, back to where I was before I was sidetracked there. So yeah, I went out of my way to buy more of these Washington's Army guys because they look just as good as redcoats as they do as Continental Army. What I'm looking for is some sort of militia, really. There's not many good sets around for militia, so I may just use another batch of these Washington's Army guys and maybe do some head swaps, do some guys without hats perhaps. We'll see. But yeah, really I do need to do some militia, because as you start on these projects you think to yourself, okay, well I'll do a British unit and an American unit, and you do that, and then you do another couple, and then you think, right, well I need some artillery now, and I need some cavalry, although fortunately there's not a lot of cavalry involved in that conflict because it was really not that useful. But I should do some, which I'll be coming on to very shortly. So yeah, I've done these guys. I've been again heavily using the hat Prussian 7 Years War command sets and mixing them in with Airfix guys just to expand them a bit there. I thought I'd do these as the sort of Grenadier type hats. And okay, so that's that lot. So that brings me on to the commanders. I've done a few of these. There should be one commander or colonel for each battalion. I've got 2 here at the moment, but I have done others. They just need to be based now, or if I'm missing one, they will be done, because I've been doing that little unit there of 2 guys and the commander unit there. So that's the British General. Okay, so it's nice to have some officer figures on there. Should be one of these for each unit, so if there aren't, there will be soon. As for the artillery, what I've been doing is buying the what are they called? Not Italeri. It's the American set anyway, where they do the British and Continental Army artillery units, and I've just been swapping around the figures in those just to make them slightly different. And I've managed to get 7 for each gun. So what I've done is 6 British artillery batteries so far. I imagine I will have more British artillery units than American artillery units, because that's how it panned out anyway, however useful they were. These ones here, these small guns, if I just zoom in, where are we? Is that a small one? Here we are. Let me just jump down to here. Yeah, that one. These ones are grasshopper guns, apparently. So very small caliber, manoeuvrable artillery pieces. And I think it's the British artillery set came with those. One of them I've done is Continental Army, which is in fact this one here, because they would have stolen them as they do. I'll show you the American artillery in a moment, but I'll just take you through the British artillery they've got. See, they've got an Airfix guy sneaking in at the back there. I've been trying to use as many of these guys holding the powder barrels as possible, because I've got quite a lot of them, so I may as well add them into the artillery units. I can't think of any other place to put them unless I do some sort of military camp and they bring in the beer round, which they could do, or the rum ration, I suppose it could be in there. Maybe do a little vignette diorama at the start of the battle as the men are preparing to go into battle, and they're distributing the rum ration, like in that scene in Waterloo, where the Christian guy won't drink his rum, but of course the Irish guy would. No stereotyping there. There's another guy there at the back. And I've also been adding little things like the these little cartridge or canister containers, a few little buckets from various sets. See, there's an Airfix guy in everyone, a couple of barrels in there. And there's another one. And there's another one. And there's another one. So I've used 6 up just for this artillery alone. Probably won't get any more British artillery. So I think I'm nearing completion with that. If I do spot some cheap sets on eBay or at Selweg or Salute, then I'll snap them up. If the price wants it, you know, warrants it. If you can get something for 5 or 6 quid, why not? It's worth it for a box of 3 guns, isn't it? You can't argue with that. So yeah, it's mixing up hat figures and Airfix and that American firm whose name may well come to me in the end. I'm sure you know who they are anyway. As dementia kicks in. So let me just pan out here. So that is the infantry and infantry and artillery so far. Now as for cavalry, I do have 12 of these guys painted already, but I haven't finished the horses, so that's the first 7. I think 12 is enough of these. These are basically the Grenadier officers, and of course Grenadiers didn't have officers, did they? So I'm just using them for the sake of using them as cavalry. Paint them in those colours. I do have a set of Prussian dragoons that are from 40 years later, which I'm going to use as German Brunswick cavalry that took part in the War of Independence, so I'll be painting those up. But as for the other cavalry, unless I can find something that will do for any Continental Army cavalry, I haven't even looked at what they would look like at the moment, but I will have to obviously do a 1 unit of those. But that's that so far. So there will be 12 of these and another 12 or 15 of the German dragoons as well. Okay, so that's that lot. And of course the manufacturer I was thinking of was IMEX. It did come to me immediately immediately I stopped recording. So moving on now, I did finally finish those Zvezda Vikings, and here they are, and I have to say I was very, very impressed with them. Really enjoyed painting them. I thought I'd stick the 3 berserker guys at the front here. Quite nice figures. The shields are a joy to paint. So these are all being put in those basing trays that I got from Salute and the previous Selweg. Just move along the line here. I think I might have this as my centre of the shield wall with the 5 guys with the axes behind. Of course, they could just as easily be Saxons, which is quite versatile of them. But they're lovely figures. We'll show you these from behind as well, because a lot of them got the shields on the back. So as you can see, most of them have got their shields at the front, in the front row. The odd archer in there. Wouldn't mind getting another set of these because they're so nice, you know. And they do fit in well with the other Viking set that I got. Again, I've lost my memory as to who they're. Emhar. I should know these manufacturers off by heart by now. I've been doing for them so long. So yeah. Let me just zoom in a bit here. It does look quite impressive when you get all the shields done. I'd heartily recommend these, as we would with any Zvezda set really. They're just so nice to paint. And very, very detailed for plastic, and very cheap as well. I think you probably pay about £12, between £10 and £12 for these, but well worth it. So you get, I think, 41 figures in the set. Taking on to the command figures. I might just bring these down to the front first before I show you the rear. Where are we? Here we are. It gets to see some of the detail on the flag there. Yeah, good heavens, something focuses. So just a bit of gold dry brush over that, just picks out the detail. At this scale, would you notice? Well, you would if you start picking them up, but you may be able to see that from a distance. It'll at least gleam. The command figure is an absolute character. He's a fantastic figure, as is the guy with the horn. Very nice indeed. What I'm trying to scout out is some rocks for a stone circle and one of those barrows, just to produce some terrain for these, rather than, you know, huts. Might invest in huts later on, but I'll just go for making some stone circles. But yeah, they're an absolutely fantastic set, really good to do. So that is the Vikings, and I'll just give you a brief glance back along the line there. So that's just the Zvezda Vikings, so you know, making really nice addition to the Vikings that I've got. And all of those have been done as well, so that should be enough. So I'm about to put these away now. That should be enough to fill out the missing bases that I needed for the ones I've done already. There you go. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you these from the rear. Really like these guys, these housecarls. And these guys from the side, the archers with the fur hats are very nice. Very good, very nice indeed. Okay, so finally what I'm doing is what I've got on the bench. So I have another unit of Washington's Army here, which are just about finished, and that goes with this. Well, actually no, I won't show you those at the moment, but if you look at the back here, let me just bring these two guys forward. I bought I've got 3 boxes of the 7 Years' War Frederick the Great's Grenadiers, which I'm going to paint as Hessians, and that's 2 of the command set there. Also have these guys, you've got to fit them together, so you've got to put the arms on. These are really nice Zvezda figures, so we've just got to glue those in properly because it needs to fit properly. But yeah, as I say, I've got 3 boxes of those. This is the box actually. If I can just grab it. This one. Very nice. Just looking at the rear. These are the figures that you get. So very much looking forward to painting those. I've nearly finished these Washington's Army guys, so that will be the next lot I do. And that will be 3, possibly 4 battalions of, well, it'll definitely be 3 battalions of Hessians. Well, maybe 2 Hessians and another one of German Grenadiers, Auxiliary Infantry. So, really looking forward to doing these. That will be my next batch after that. Okay, so quite a lot done there. I've done a couple of units of English Civil War cavalry as well, one of Royalists, one of Parliamentarians, but I won't show you those just yet. So I think that's quite enough to be getting on with. But yeah, I finished those as well, as long as it's also another unit of Washington's Army. So really building up on the American War of Independence stuff, really getting on well with those. Still quite a few to do. I'm also doing 2 Napoleonic French heavy ambulances. The command set up there of Washington's Army. And some English Civil War infantry at the back there. I might need another couple of boxes of those because they look a bit strange with quite a lot of poses, so I want to rationalise that and get another couple of boxes of those. Those are the coat to arms guys, I think, but they're very nice. Still need a few more though. So all going very well. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I hope to speak to you soon. Okay, take care everybody, see you later.